Good morning. I want to start off by telling you a story of a young metalhead. The year was 1996. I was in fourth or fifth grade. I was on my way to school. A guy got on the bus and he handed me a CD with a rattlesnake on the cover. Although not the most intriguing or extravagant cover I'd ever seen, I was still drawn to it. I got my headset out and pressed play. Little did I know the journey I was about to embark on would change my life forever. Welcome to the Devil's Note. Album reviews of the past, present, and tomorrow. Today I'm wanting to talk about Pantera's Great Southern Trendkill. This is the 8th album released by Pantera, the 5th album to feature Philip Anselmo. In 1986, the first singer for Pantera, Tony Glaze, had left the band. Pantera was looking for a vocalist. Texas-born native Abbott brothers found that vocalist one state over in Louisiana. A young kid by the name of Philip H. Anselmo. 1986 release, Power Metal, was the first album to feature Anselmo, and it still showcased Pantera's original sound. The Abbott brothers was major Kiss fans, and their music at that point had a Van Halen feel to it. We wouldn't get the dark, gutter sound until later album, 1990's Cowboys from Hell. This album really marked the dawn of a new sound of a metal they invented called groove metal. Fast back forward to 1996. This young kid listened to this record on the school bus in awe and astounded by the sound he heard coming out of the headset. The truth, the honesty to this music, the rawness, the power, the tension, the constant build, waiting for the explosion. It's what this record was, start to finish. Every song on this album was amazing to me. I don't know if it's the nostalgia of it was the first record I've heard from Pantera, and it was the first record to change my life and really make me the metalhead I am, the metalhead I was destined to be. At this time, I was listening to bands like Metallica and things like that. I was listening to metal, but none of it was like Pantera. Pantera's tensions was very high at this point in their career. The Abbott brothers and Philip Anselmo was not getting along. Philip was knee-deep in his heroin addictions, and it was taking its toll on the relationship of this band. They never even recorded this album in the same room together. Hell, it wasn't even in the same state. Philip Anselmo recorded his vocals in Louisiana. Pantera recorded the music elsewhere. Although not being in the same room, you can't deny the magic, the raw, the power of this record. They were the perfect mix for the chaotic balance that became Pantera's staple sound. The singles off this album dragged the waters. It was an amazing, heavy track. And my son, he's 7 years old. This is one of his favorite songs from him. My Little Camper is a Metalhead. It's great. The meanings of this song It's the deep metaphorical song. It tells the story of corruption, discovering hidden truths in organizations or powerful individuals. The song Tens was more of a softer song, but the emotional buildup in this song and tension through the whole track was just a monumental feeling listening to it. Although Pantera has never really confirmed or spoke of the meaning of tens, I take from it addictions. You had Philip that was in knee deep in his addiction to heroin at this point. A lot of the lines in the songs kind of circle around that to me. The opening line, so bold of a statement, so true. You're addicted, you're in addiction problems, your skin feels cold, you feel alone. That's what this song had, a loneliness to it, a feel to it. But this time, they released one more album after Great Southern Trendkill called Reinventing the Still. The album released, they went through the album cycle and the tour, and Philip Osamo was starting side bands. Superjoint Ritual, he started gaining some notoriety with. And then Down really got him some play. The Abbott brothers was sitting back, wondering when Philip Osamo was going to come back to Pantera so they could continue making the music they loved. Tired of waiting, the Abbott brothers finally formed Damage Plan and immediately started taking the metal world by storm with this band. And then tragedy. In 2004 in Chicago, they were playing a nightclub, and a crazed fan came out of the crowd, an ex-military guy with a shotgun. He shot Dime before anybody knew it. He hit the stage. He turned to shoot Vinny, and then their drum tech jumped in front and took the shot, saving Vinnie Paul. The drum tech lived. He took a shotgun blast to the chest to save Vinnie Paul. He was too late for Dime. Dime had died. And then out of a crowd emerged a cop, off-duty cop, and he dropped the son of a bitch. Later, I don't know if it was writings they found or family members, but he was blaming the Abbott brothers for Pantera breaking up. Is why the reasoning, and supposedly he did what he did. They buried Dime. Bill, at this point, those tensions were so high, and the Abbott brothers was not even speaking to Philip Osamo. Philip had done an interview, and according to Philip Osamo, the interview was over. He was joking. Line was took out of context and printed. Abbott brothers got pissed. We wouldn't have nothing to do with him. So when Dime died, Bill was trying to come to the funeral. They wouldn't allow it because of the tension. Go back to the review of this album. Musicianship. 5 devil horns, hands down. Tremendous pieces of music. The structure, the chaos, the tension they captured with every note, every vocal melody, every subtle transition. from the raw, gritty vocals into the clean singing vocals from Phil Balsamo really accented the music. And the Abbott brothers had this magic of accenting each other so well. One knew when to lay back and let the other one pull forward, and vice versa. Then you had Rex Brown on the bass coming back in the backside, controlling the whole sound with his dark bass riff. The musicianship from this band was always great and always hooked me. I can never get enough of Pantera's music. Vocals. Phil Balsamo has never not delivered vocally. Phil Balsamo has such a range. He has dark, deep, guttering, harsh vocals. Then he has lush, clean, ballady sounding vocals. And he can sing all the way up into a really high pitch. The range from low to high is at least 4 to 5 octaves. Lyrics. 5 devil horns up. This album's full of metaphors and hidden truths and hidden meanings. The tension that was on this record was brought forth by the tension within the band, and it shows. Now, for artwork, I give it 4 devil horns up. A great album cover. Caught my attention as a young child. It's not the extravagant of an album cover, but it's still powerful in the same. Overall, this is one of the greatest bands, I feel, to ever make it in metal. Well, till next time, keep it heavy and stay metal. Remember, this is only an opinion. And like everything, everybody else has an opinion. And so does everybody have an asshole. So don't be one. You don't like what I'm saying, just turn it. And if anybody's ever wondering where I get some of my records from, the flea market in Rockwood, there's a booth down there. He sells records called Arc of Peace Crystal Creations. If he doesn't have it, he can get it. A very cool dude.